So I was definitely encouraged by reading all of your guys' comments from week one, and something I'll try to do is definitely follow up with those discussions and kind of what I saw out of them, some of the common things, some things I really liked about your discussions you had, and we'll just kind of go from there. So thought it was awesome how a lot of you talked about the classroom setting. It's not necessarily technology, and obviously this is a technology class, but I loved that you guys went there because I think the more mobile we get, and a lot of you pointed out, like, okay, we don't have to have a desktop computer here, here, and here. Now, with iPads, with Chromebooks, that type of thing, we can have those things wherever we want them. So I like that you talked about having those different things. I know at least one person talked about having writable surfaces. I'm a huge proponent. I think that's great. If I had a classroom, my dreams, every surface would be writable. There's actually a place in St. Louis that's kind of a business startup place, and they kind of have that mantra, and all the walls and all of their areas are writable surfaces. So it's definitely something cool where kids can just brainstorm, they can start those things out. Let's see, what else did I hear? Oh, some people were talking about math, and sometimes math teachers. So I'm speaking to you, math teachers. Sometimes they can be a little different on the technology side of it because sometimes math can be a little harder to utilize with technology. Because a lot of what we instantly go to is, okay, well, how do I put this equation on a Google Doc? And that's not really where I think math should be focused with technology. You can still do those problems on paper. I mean, there is still a time and a place for paper. Where I think technology can come in with the math environment is instead of just figuring out the perimeter of whatever triangle, I'm looking at my desk here. If there's or here, so okay, let's figure out the perimeter and the square footage of this rectangle, this phone. Well, now you can have those kids jump on Google Maps. They can go to Google My Maps, and they can look at their school, and they can do the square footage there. They can do perimeter of that. They can do it of their house. So I think it becomes a lot more. They can take some more ownership into that. So I loved hearing kind of some of your guys' ideas on that. Obviously, the flipped instruction. Great way to bring back some time in your classroom because you can get the lecture done very quickly. I know some people were mentioning some virtual reality, which was very cool, and augmented reality. That's really where I think some of the places we're going is that augmented reality where we blend virtual reality and reality. If anybody hasn't had a chance, check out the HTC Vive. That is a great new tool. It's expensive, not a lot of stuff out for it yet, but it's really cool. Actually, I was recently over in the Galleria, and the Microsoft Store has one set up to play with. So if you did want to check that out, there's a place to go do that. Yeah, definitely cool hearing some of your ideas on that. One of the questions I was thinking of as I was reading through some of your things is a few of you mentioned like teachers' willingness to learn and their willingness to change. So what do you guys think on the professional development piece? Because I remember I'm an administrator. I hear teachers, oh, we have a PD day. What are we going to learn? What's the new latest and greatest that we won't stick with for a long time? I know how it goes. But what do you think about professional development? Do you need the professional development, or do you just hand the kids devices and say, go? I think that could be a good discussion too. So I just wanted to take a minute, kind of wrap up that week one discussion. Thought you guys did a phenomenal job again. Just really liked I noticed in the replies too, you guys gave some very real world ideas, which I thought that was very cool. Like, oh, here's what I'm doing in my classroom right now. So keep up that great work. I thought you guys did an awesome job on that. And I will see you again for week two.